You won the Academy Awards for which movie and with the director?
The Accountant was the name of the movie.
The Accountant. Okay.
Ray McKinnon was the director.
Mm-hmm. How hard was to enter in the sphere of filmmaking?
It's very hard. You have to be willing to wait a long time, like send out hundreds and hundreds of resumes, and beg. You do a lot of free work, and you spend a lot of time doing work that is maybe below your talent level, but still you have to do it. I lucked out twice. I was very lucky. Mm-hmm. When I got out of college, I wanted to get a job working as an art director. One of my professors had written me a letter of recommendation, and he had given me an introduction to a producer in Washington, D.C. So I gave the producer my letter of recommendation, and he basically laughed at me and said, "Come back when you've done something." And 2 weeks later, the producer who was doing The Courage to Care, which was a documentary, called me up because they had lost their location for the shoot they had planned, and said, "Can you make 12 sets in 2 weeks?" And I said, "Of course, yeah." So I built 12 sets. Actually, I built 4 sets that I rotated on stage. So at the end of every day, I repainted them all, redressed them. And so for 4 days, I rotated all those sets through. And it ended up being 15 sets. But they all looked real, and the show was nominated for Academy Awards, so I worked as an art director for 4 years straight, because that's a great, you can't beat that as a recommendation. Your first job gets receives an Academy Award. So, and then the writer's strike hit, and I went to grad school, and I got hired as an art director, as a production designer on a film. And I said, "Okay, I'll do production design, but I don't want to do it anymore if you give me second unit as the DP. And I'll do that for free. You got to pay me for production design, but I'll be the second unit DP for free." And so I worked on this really bad science fiction film, but I did a lot of great special effects and got a lot of great shots out of it from our demo reel. And so, but that's where I started working as a DP. So I got that was lucky that I got that job. And I just got in the right place at the right time. I kept making sure I was available, or being in the right place at the right time. I've worked on some stuff that I would never admit that I worked on. I worked on some stuff that was good experience, but it was, I'd never put it on my demo because the other stuff, whatever reason. I haven't done porn.
Porno?
I haven't done
porno. I think here in America the difference is that filmmaking feels more like an industry than an art form. I think in Italy and Europe, I think it becomes more of an art form. And I think that that's really kind of the difference between your projects and our projects. And a lot of the industry is very tante difficile. It's very difficult because it's, there's no place, there's no route, there's no way to really start. You have to just get in there and get your hands dirty, and it's very political, and you have to know people, and when you get your chance, you have to really know what you're doing or be very smart about thinking on your feet. And so, and you have to keep promoting all the time. Yeah. You have to be very aggressive, because everybody in this city, everybody wants to work in the industry. Everybody. So it's very competitive. Competitive is the word.
what do you think about Italian cinema?
Italian cinema is incredible, especially after the war and in the early 50s. Some amazing films came out that just, I think, changed American cinema to some extent, or at least it had a good impact on it because it forced American cinema to kind of become a little more mature and realistic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.